Hello, this is Chrissy Civic, career coach and founder of eatyourcareer.com. I would like to welcome you to today's video training session, 9 Powerful Secrets of Productive People. Now, each of these secrets are covered much more in depth and comprehensively in my e-course called Get Productive Now Bootcamp. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that at the end of today's session, but you can also learn about it by visiting eatyourcareer.com/productive. Today's training is really designed to be just a nice overview for you to hopefully help you start thinking about ways you can boost your own productivity at work and at home. We have a ton to get through today, so let's get started. The first secret is that productive people know that mindset matters. You might think that productivity is really all about how much you do, and that's partly true, but productivity is also a mindset. How you think influences how you act. There are so many people out there running around all day long repeating the mantra of, "I don't have enough time." This kind of thinking just perpetuates the problem and it builds anxiety. And then you really don't have enough time. It's like this horrible self-fulfilling prophecy. Productive people know their own personal definition of productivity, and they know why it's important to them. They think like someone who has enough time because they know they do. They know their priorities. They don't let anxiety and overwhelm rule them or push them into making poor decisions. They also know their own peaks and valleys, their natural productivity rhythms. They know the times of day when they're most productive, and they know when they're least productive, and they don't push themselves to do more than they should be doing in those down times. They schedule themselves accordingly. So if you want to boost your productivity, it really starts with how you're thinking and how well you understand yourself. The second secret that productive people know is that space management and organization are essential. If you don't have a functional, orderly environment, you end up wasting time and you have a harder time focusing your mental attention where it should be. Productive people almost always have very clean offices and homes. They don't have a lot of clutter. So the most productive person in your workplace is probably not the person who has Beanie Babies all over their desk and trinkets and piles of Post-it notes covering their computer monitor. But the great thing is that productive people don't actually spend all of their time cleaning and organizing. Instead, they have a very set group of systems and rules that they use to make it very easy and natural to create and maintain their organized space. So let me ask you, what are your current organizational practices? Are these things helping your productivity or hurting it? Do you have systems and rules in place for maintaining your functional, orderly environment? The third secret that productive people know is that email is a really great productivity tool when it is used appropriately. But it's an absolute beast if you don't have a very specific system for managing it. Productive people don't use their email inbox like it's a to-do list or like it's a filing cabinet. Instead, they process their messages very quickly to get them out of the inbox because they know it's just constantly filling back up. It's way too easy to let important messages get buried, and then action items can end up falling through the cracks. Productive people also use very specific strategies and tools to reduce the amount in their inbox, because the less you have, the easier it is to manage. If you don't currently have a system for your email management, you need one. This is an absolutely critical part of productivity in today's world, and it's going to become more and more important moving forward. Email can literally suck your time and your energy if you let it. So when you look at your email inbox, do you have a strategy for how you're going to work through your messages? The fourth secret of productive people is that they use to-do lists and calendars. You've probably heard this before. This is probably nothing new, but productive people actually use these things, and they use them consistently with a very specific structure. They don't create to-do lists on Post-it notes or cocktail napkins or scraps of paper. They also separate their master to-do list from their daily items, because they know that each day you can really only accomplish a handful of items. So they don't want to be looking at everything on that master list. It's just incredibly overwhelming. Instead, they want to focus on the important things for that specific day. They also separate their projects, because these things require more planning and they have multiple steps, so they don't mix their projects with to-do items. They use a calendar system that suits their needs. So productive people do not miss appointments. They don't miss deadlines. They don't double book themselves. Productive people don't miss birthdays or anniversaries or special events. These are the type of people who will pick up a birthday card and get it in the mail 5 days early so it arrives at your door on your exact birthday. Productive people know that missing these important dates or missing important meetings, these things are just unacceptable. And they don't rely on their memory, they rely on their system. They also know how to choose between paper and electronic tools. This is probably the biggest question that most people have, and there is no one-size-fits-all tool. But productive people know what works best for them because they've tried different things, and they're not afraid of combining different things together to make them work for themselves. So do you have a process for managing your to-do list and your calendar? Do you miss important dates or important meetings? Productive people have structures to help them actually do their work. They know that to-do lists only go so far, and then after that you actually have to process. So they use systems for helping them figure out what should come first. They don't just do the first thing that jumps out at them, or the easiest thing, or the one that takes the least amount of time. They know how to set up and keep appropriate priorities. They also know the truth about multitasking, that it isn't always a great thing, and it can't always be realistically done. So they know when to avoid trying to multitask, but they also know how and when they can multitask and how it should be done. So when you look at your task list, do you know what should come first? Do you work methodically, or do you bounce around from task to task, never really certain that you're doing the right thing? Productive people know that habits can be amazing productivity tools if you have the right ones in place. They don't make excuses for bad habits, they just break them. And they use proven systems that make it easy to do so. We are all guilty of having a few bad habits. Even the most productive people in the world can fall into negative habits. That's not the problem. The problem is that a lot of people don't know how to break those bad habits, but productive people do, and they're not afraid to break them when it needs to happen. They also know how to develop really strong habits, so their productivity practices almost become mindless. They're just a natural part of who they are. If they don't do their positive productivity habits, then they feel like something's missing. Are your personal and professional habits currently helping or hurting your productivity? The seventh secret of productive people is that they know how to manage the paper in their lives. Productive people do not have stacks and stacks of paper without any order around them. They create very efficient filing systems, and they know how to maintain them. This goes for home as well as work. Productive people also understand that we're quickly moving into a paperless world, or at least a world that we're using less paper. So they have a method for storing their electronic documents too. Their computer desktop isn't covered with files. They don't have a million documents in their computer labeled letter 1, letter 2, letter 3. So when you look at your documents on your computer, can you find things quickly? Do you know where to look? Do you have processes for filing your paperwork? Productive people know how to set limits. They don't simply accept every responsibility because they know that they can't. They respect their own boundaries, and they know how to get others to respect them as well. They know how to say no in a way that's polite and professional and doesn't offend people or make them angry. Productive people actually feel very comfortable saying no, and when they do choose to say no, it's a choice that they feel confident in. And by demonstrating that confidence and that comfort, they make others more willing to accept it. Productive people also know how to manage their stress, which this is just a hugely important part of productivity. They don't let stress and anxiety rule them. Stress has this way of making us feel like everything is important and everything is urgent, and it can really ruin your judgment. And sometimes it can even make you freeze up so you're not able to accomplish anything. Productive people know this, and they actively manage their stress to prevent it from causing problems like this. And the ninth secret that productive people know is that they know how to manage the obstacles that come up for them. Because even the world's most productive people still face the same obstacles that you and I do. Things like procrastination, perfectionism, overwhelm, interruptions, and lack of discipline. But the trick is to recognize these obstacles and when they come up, and to do something about overcoming them. Productive people know what can trigger these things, and they know how to sidestep the obstacles in their path. So take a look at this list and see if any of these things resonate with you. If so, I don't want you to feel guilty. I don't want you to feel ashamed. These things are totally natural, but they do have to be managed. That's something that if you want to be productive, you need to learn how to manage the obstacles that come up most commonly for you. And here's just one more bonus for you. Productive people make the commitment to themselves. They don't make excuses about why they aren't getting things done. They don't blame others. They don't put things off. They're willing to do the work, because being productive is a difficult thing sometimes. You have to implement strategies on a consistent basis. So productive people are willing to go there. This is a huge thing. Many people say they're willing, but they don't actually make the commitment and they don't follow through. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, I'm willing to do the work, I'm ready to make the commitment, I want to get more done in less time and with less stress, I want to implement all of the productivity strategies I just heard about, then I want to invite you to sign up for the Get Productive Now Bootcamp program. In this program, I share my own personal productivity strategies for each of the 9 areas we just covered. This is a 9-week training program, and it guides you through a variety of techniques and tools and strategies, all of which are designed to help you get control of your work, your home, and your life. Each week, you get an exclusive access to an original audio training session and an implementation guide to help you put your new skills to work right away. The program is called an e-course. So if you've never done an e-course before, I just want to give you a brief explanation of what you can expect with it. When you sign up, you automatically receive a welcome message and your lesson for week 1 in your email inbox. After that, you get a new lesson each week, also through email. So it's completely self-paced. There are no dates for you to keep up with for the training sessions. You don't have to schedule them onto your already busy calendar. I intentionally designed this program this way because I wanted to make it super convenient for you. And I also wanted you to have enough time between your lessons to really soak the information in. With a week between lessons, you'll have plenty of time to go through your implementation guide that comes with each lesson and to do your homework each week. Plus, because it's audio training, you can listen how and when you want. You can download the audio files, put them onto your iPod if you want, and listen while you're driving or while you're cleaning your house or walking your dog or working out, whatever you want. Or if you prefer, you can just listen to this session right from your computer. You also get a PDF of the transcript for each session, so you can read along, take notes, and that just helps solidify your learning. Plus, and I think this is the best part of the program right here, you get a 30-minute one-on-one productivity booster session with me. So we'll meet over the phone and you can ask me your questions, share your struggles. I will give you individualized attention and personal recommendations specifically for you. You can use this session anytime up to a year after you purchase the program. So again, just very convenient for you. Truly, the value of this session alone is worth the cost of the program. So I invite you to visit eatyourcareer.com/productive to learn more and to sign up for the Get Productive Now Bootcamp program. I would love to have you in the program, and I look forward to helping you develop the nourishing career and life that you so richly deserve. Thank you for watching this video training. I hope you enjoyed it.